I'm exhausted. Okay. Bo, welcome to another episode, another live stream. Alan, the old gamer on the mountain, as my tag says. Whew. How about you again? That almost put me into a sugar coma. Ugh. I about passed out. I'm exhausted. Anyways, we've got a number of issues I want to get to today. But first, let's talk about today's headlines. So, news. Click on the news link. Six killed, including shooter, at Maryland Rite Aid facility. Or 4 killed, including shooter. Not 6, but yeah. Okay. Ugh. We really need to do something about our love, not just of guns, but of industry-run healthcare. Because companies that are for profit, they don't care. They don't have care about the people. And we're going to continue to have this kind of setup as long as we have for-profit healthcare mixed with guns, which it should be, in order to maintain a well-regulated militia, which is how the Second Amendment starts off. It starts with a caveat. Earliest animal fossils identified. 558 million year old oval shaped creature. Donald Tusk. Theresa May's Brexit trade plan won't work. I can't see the name Donald without thinking of the orange-skinned baboon in the White House. No offense to anybody else named Donald, it's just he's ruined the name Donald forever. Accuser's schoolmate says she recalls hearing of alleged Kavanaugh incident. Let's look at page 2. European Union says Facebook must change rules by end of 2018. Provide users with more information about how their data is used. So the EU is pushing Facebook to do something. Sure as heck won't be the U.S. It's more, oh, we'll make love to you for money. We don't care. We're whores. We're worse whores than actual prostitutes are. Just annoys me. Gunman in courthouse shooting that injured four was scheduled for something. Let's read that. Do 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 do. It's a thinking and rotating. Thinking and rotating. There we go. Gunman in courthouse shooting that injured four was scheduled for assault hearing, authorities say. And reload, blah, blah, blah. I'm already done with it. You don't need to continue trying to load stuff. Marine Lepen ordered to undergo psychiatric testing. A French court has ordered far-right leader Marine Le Pen to undergo psychiatric tests as part of the inquiry into her sharing images of some kind of Islamic something. It's unfortunately become a part of our society that we think, oh, hate's free speech too. As long as you don't act on it. But don't proliferate hatred. You can believe a certain way, you can think a certain way, but when you proliferate and try to spread hatred, I have to disagree with your motives. That's why I kind of laugh at people who are like, Antifa's the monsters. Not so much. You know, their name is Antifa, anti-fascist. And look who they marched against. Neo-Nazis, KKK. They're not the evil ones. They're marching against the ones who are bad. And yet there's so many people who's like, Antifa's monsters. See, this is how much you've been tricked if you believe that. This research group seeks to expose weaknesses in science. What? What weaknesses in science? The whole point of science is fact and logic based reasoning and testing. Where's the weaknesses in that? Because you know what? The other way, doing it by feeling, doing it by beliefs, doesn't work. Uh, Oh, I'm so exhausted. I swear that about put me into a sugar coma. That was bad for me. Never again. I'm going to have to drink some energy drink just to stay awake. Ooh. Yeah, it's wore me out. Florence and Mancut bring data and destruction to coastal scientists. Drug overdose deaths in America are rising exponentially. More than 63,600 Americans died for drug overdoses in 2016. All right. Today in history. Yeah. We'll switch it from news to all so we can flip over to history.com. Oh, come on. There you go. Amish convicted in beard cutting attacks this day in 2012. 16 members of a dissident Amish group in Ohio are convicted of federal hate crimes and conspiracy for forcibly cutting the beards and hair of fellow Amish with whom they had religious differences. This is why religion, I feel, anymore is a sickness and not a boon for anyone. It just pushes hate for some reason. Today in 1519, Magellan sets out. Portuguese navigator Ferdinand Magellan set sail from Spain in an effort to find a western sea route to the Spice Islands of Indonesia. In command of 5 ships and 270 men, Magellan sailed to West Africa and then to Brazil, where he searched the South American coast for our new route. Today in 1565, the first European battle on American soil. Spanish forces under Pedro Menendez de Aviles captured the French Huguenot settlement Port Caroline, near present-day Jacksonville, Florida. The French, commanded by René Goulin de Laudonnière, lost 135 men in the first instance of colonial warfare between European powers on American soil. Today in 1946, the first ever Cannes Film Festival. Today in 1973, Billie Jean King defeats Bobby Riggs in Battle of the Sexes 2. Today in 1881, Chester A. Arthur becomes the third president to serve in 1 year. So the year began with Rutherford B. Hayes in office. His successor took office later that year after he'd won the election. But he was shot shortly into his term, and Chester A. Arthur took the reins. Let's see. Today in 1975, the Bay City Rollers make their U.S. debut on Saturday Night Live, which looks like was the first episode of Saturday Night Live, with host Howard Cosell. In the autumn of 1975, NBC premiered a brand new late-night comedy variety program that, in addition to launching the careers of John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and an entire generation of comic actors, would also give America its first exposure to some of the era's greatest music. Today in 1934, actress and international sex symbol Sophia Loren was born. This day in 1934, Sophia Vianney Ciccolone, I'm not sure, I'm not too good with Italian names, later known to the world as the actress and screen siren Sophia Loren, was born in Rome, Italy. She would become known as an icon of beauty and glamour. Today in 1963, Kennedy proposes joint mission to the moon. An optimistic and upbeat President Kennedy suggests to the Soviet Union and suggests that the Soviet Union and the United States cooperate on a mission to mount an expedition to the moon. The proposal caught both the Soviets and the Americans off guard. But of course, it didn't quite happen because such bragging rights would have been too big to pass up for any one nation. Today in 1863, the Confederates score a victory at the Battle of Chickamauga. In one of the bloodiest battles of the war, the Confederate Army of Tennessee drives the Union Army of the Cumberland back into Chattanooga, Tennessee from Chickamauga Creek. In northern Georgia, although technically a Confederate victory, the battle had little long-term effect. So, there we go. Today's headlines, science, and history. And we have a viewer. Hello, viewer. Welcome to the stream. But with today's headlines finished, we are going to go ahead and get into some of the topics we wanted to talk about a little bit today. If I can remember, I'm usually not too good on my memory. Let's see. But one I do want to talk about is an atmosphere we often have with how we treat each other, especially women. This is not a civility class. This is not, the social justice class. This is just, I want you to think about how we have kind of developed an attitude of men have the right to catcall and dog whistle women all the time. And if you think about it, some people are quite adverse to that. So it's just something I want to speak about, especially with the Kavanaugh hearing, where there's an accuser coming forth, but there's already plans to try to block her. But there's also, what did I watch on Philip DeFranco's show today? Oh yeah, the 31-year-old doctor and his girlfriend who had apparently been drugging women and having their way with them. It's not too much to put into the minds that you don't need to treat women as playthings. Don't get me wrong. I've been guilty of it too. I won't claim I've been innocent. Looking at women and going, or, catcalling. It's not something I do anymore, but I have been guilty of it in the past. But it's something we need to end. as a habit in our country. And the viewers already disappeared. Apparently, they don't like the thought of talking about sexual abuse, but it's true. And it's something we shouldn't allow to just happen in our society. Even the jokes open up a door which, well, it's not that big of a deal, because obviously we're joking about it. Obviously, it's fodder for comedy. And it's not. It shouldn't ever be. But we've kind of excused it unto the point it's treated in such a manner. And I just feel we need to set a better example. It's a shame that we've got the example and the energy coming from the younger generations. And it's older generations having to learn from them. It is a bit shameful. But it is what it is. So I will kind of review on that. What else do we have going on today? More and more information about the Kavanaugh accuser and the supposed rape during that time is starting to come forth. And turns out Kavanaugh may not be as innocent as we first thought. Not that I thought he was that innocent to begin with. Republicans were trying to hide most of his documents showing his decisions to begin with. I mean, if you want a lifetime appointment, you should never, ever, I don't care if you're left or right, hide someone's documents, during their nomination. You should always give forth their documents. That's just a fact. Let's see, what else? Tomorrow's Friday, so I will be teaching some more history, Western civilization. And we'll try to, I want to try to do some more video game streams. I used to stream quite a bit on Twitch. And it was during one New Year's Day stream. I think it was New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. Yeah, while everybody was out, woo, I'm getting drunk, watching the fireworks. I streamed and had 50-some viewers. I was like, wow. It shows there's a lot of people who just they don't want to deal with the stupidity of all the people. They just want to sit back and chill. But I may do some video game streaming, may put it on Twitch. I want to get back on Twitch a little bit. Diversify a little, I guess. But yeah. What else can we talk about today? I just wore out. So I guess we'll call it for today. Educate thyself. Read, think, study, learn. It's important. Education. I do care about you all. Do love you. I will be back, like I said, tomorrow with another lesson. And shoot. I will be back tomorrow with another lesson. I'll see you guys then and have some regular videos hopefully up next week. Hopefully. No promises, no guarantees, no nothing like that. I'm just putting the videos together anymore. But later.